Hi, everybody. How you doing? Testing. 1, 2, 3. I'm here. I see my green bars. Happy Thursday, everybody. I feel like Mr. Rogers with my little sweatshirt on, but I'm feeling a little chilled. Even though the temperature outside is not really all that chilly, but get my little microphone. There we go. All right. Hey, lightning, thunder, loud, bright, wet. Happened this morning, impacting the morning commute, especially towards the tail end of the morning commute. So we had some rain, no problem. We had some thunderstorms, no problem, in terms of severe weather. But the timing of the rainfall was very inconvenient because it started to really ramp up right about 8 o'clock. And that's the tail end of the morning commute. And it happened right in, I call it the traffic triangle, Athens, Decatur, back to Huntsville, that little triangle of 72, 65, and 565. And we had a pretty good soaker right here, a little gully washer is what I call it, right here at the station this morning. Now all that rain, the really heavy stuff, is about to cross over the Georgia line and moving away from areas like Fort Payne and DeKalb County. And just some showers behind it, racing behind the main line in Scottsboro and into Huntsville, and now moving east of Decatur. So the way this should work is that the rain tapers off this afternoon, and you're left with mainly cloudy skies. Now, there is a slight chance that you could actually pop a little sunshine before the sun sets. That would be really awesome. But your higher chance of sun is going to come tomorrow on the weekend. But even though we might see the rain taper off this afternoon, there is still a chance that we could get one more little push of showers this evening for areas south of the Tennessee River, like Coleman County, Etowah, maybe southern Marshall, southern DeKalb, but most of the rain from here on out is going to be south of us, like right along I hit this microphone again, Jeff. Right along I-20 in Birmingham. And then just will that northern fringe of that rain shield clip us this evening is really the biggest question right now. Once we get past that, it's all uphill, all downhill. Downhill forecasting, uphill temperature. That's what I'm trying to say. Because once the rain's out tonight, the clouds clear out. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be simply delightful. All right. Let's move some graphics for you so I can get myself organized. Today is my Tuesday, everybody, and I'm just a hot mess. Hello, Jeff from PC. Hi, Dio. Dio would be Donna Oliver, everybody, in case you don't know who she is. Donna, I call her Dio from PC. Just a little nickname that stuck. So there's your rain. What do I got for the next graphic? Athens. I was on air, and the storms were firing up to the west of Athens. I said, give it some time. The roads were wet, and I said, you're going to get dumped on heavy rain shortly, and it poured. I could see it on the camera. I didn't see any lightning, though, with the storms, like on the cameras. I mean, I know we were picking it up. Our lightning detector was detecting it, the number of lightning strikes. I think we got up to like 16 at one point. That's not a tremendous amount, but it does show you that there was some thunderstorms and enough instability for those storms. I think the National Weather Service at one point issued a special weather statement for the storm in Jackson County. It had winds like 30, 35. But yeah, there was certainly some instability, just enough to spark a few storms. 565, it just rained, so it's freshly wet. Temperature sitting at 60 degrees. I went for 65 for the 3-degree guarantee today, and I think I should have went like 63, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll get it right. There's the heaviest of rain right now. Galesville, just north of Center, Collinsville, beautiful Weiss Lake area to the south of there. Albertville, still some showers near you, Boaz, Mountain Borough, and then you pick up more showers as you work north up towards Grant, Woodville. A little pocket of some moderate rainfall right along 231, 431, just to the east of Lacey's Spring, probably more like in the Owens Crossroads area. And then the rainfall straddles 565 and 72 back towards portions of Madison. And we'll continue to track a few showers. There's still a little pocket of some moderate rainfall there just north of Henniger, too. So the shower is not quite coming to an end right away. And they weren't supposed to end until about early afternoon. I said noon, 1 o'clock, and that's when we start to see the rain back off. Bigger picture, satellite and radar. Where's all the heaviest of rain shifting to? That would be Georgia. What we have is a frontal boundary that's sagging south. You see the breaks in the clouds over by Memphis? That's what I'm crossing my fingers and toes with, that we could see a little bit of sunshine today. That would help get to 65. That would get my high temperature, which would be great. But if you have the WAFF 48 app, and it's a great tool, if you haven't seen the promo, that you can use to not just forecast severe weather, but just if you're just interested in look at the radar. The radar is really good. I've had some people complain about the bottom of it. They don't like the color of it, but very easy to navigate that radar. As long as you know where you live on the map, you can find what's going on. But anyway, should start to see a little bit of rain shower activity fill in near like Tupelo as we go into later today. And that's part of the frontal boundary that's moving south. And the question is, how far south does that front get? If it stops in Birmingham and brings heavy rain to I-20, we're done. But if it stops just before Birmingham, there'll be some rain that kind of clips our southern zones. So that's what we're watching for the rest of the day. But right now, that radar is starting to really back off on the showers for the most part. So there's your afternoon planner. I fast forward to 1 o'clock, showers moving out, a lot of clouds, mid-60s, still crossing fingers and toes for some sun. And then I added that shower at 7 p.m. to remind me to tell you at home that there could still be a renegade shower during the evening, but most areas will trend dry and cloudy overnight. Temperatures will be in the mid-40s, not too bad. And then tomorrow, we turn the corner and it gets exceptionally good, so exceptionally good that the clicker won't even let me take you to the 3-day forecast, but there it is. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That Friday 70 might be a bit generous. Probably be more like 67 or 68, but it's just easier to say 70 to 75 for the high. But it still looks good. Not a lot of wind to go along with this. Like, it's just nice. Like, what a great way to end February and begin March with 70-plus degree days. 40s at night. The one thing we can talk about that might be impactful for you, Sunday, the pollen count creeps up to like medium high. So if you are suffering from what you may think is early allergy season, it is correct. You probably are. My eyes have been really watery lately, and I suffer from major allergies. You can hear it in my voice many times when I'm on air. I take tons of stuff for it. But you'll probably feel it. I'll probably feel it by Sunday. It's not so bad today with the rain, but it goes up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And by Sunday, the numbers get pretty high for this time of year. I mean, nothing's really budded yet. Think about that. It's just mainly grasses for the most part. Hi, Herman. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. It's good stuff. For those of you who aren't aware, we do these like weather extras daily, Monday through Friday at 10:30. I think Brad does another one at like 9:30 during the weeknights. And then on Saturday and Sunday when I work mornings, I do one at 8:30 in the morning. And I think Jada does one at 4:30 in the afternoon. So we try to keep the weather extras as fresh as possible. And it's just basically a forecast of what we did on air, but gives us a chance to just kind of sit here and talk to y'all too. If you want to say nice things and ask questions, I'm here. So I'm not going anywhere. I don't have to be on air for another 20 minutes. That's an eternity. So anyway, the 48 first alert weather day, I'm going to take that off of there because by the time I go to air, well, I go to air at TVL at 11. Technically, it's still in play until noon. But anyway, I got to take the alert day off because we're done with it. It was just for the morning. It wasn't going to be severe storms. It was just going to be rainfall. That was going to slow the morning commute. That's impactful. And it was. We had many delays this morning. Few accidents, but many delays. And then we clear out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's Trash Panda home run. Speaking of the Trash Pandas, the home opener is April 3rd. Book it, Dano. We're a month away. Almost here. Love baseball season. And then early next week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we have 2020. Doesn't seem like a lot, right? And right now it's not. It depends on what forecast model you want to use. So forecast models not agreeing early next week on where the heaviest bands of rain will set up. So what I did was I just put 2020. I left a message for Brad and said, needs to be watched. and I'll say, as we get closer to that day, we'll be able to figure out the timing and if it is something. The European model, for instance, I hate saying the models because it doesn't matter, but the European model and the ensembles, mind you, too, don't have a lot of rain for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but the GFS is spitting out some decent rain. So we'll see which one comes to fruition or if there's a blend of both. But the bottom line is there's a chance for some rain early next week. The temperatures with more clouds, and if we get some rain, will drop, not be in the 70s, but they'll be in the 60s. And however it plays out, it looks like The chance of rain will end by Wednesday morning, and then Thursday and Friday will clear back out again. And it looks pretty good for Thursday, Friday. I had high hopes for the following weekend. I still do, but might have to keep an eye on a few storms for Saturday now. Looks like it'll be isolated, but just enough where I got to keep them in the forecast. So there you go. That's forecast for the 10-day. We talked about the evening commute this morning on air being better than the morning commute was going to be, because obviously we had more in the way of rainfall. We won't have as much rainfall for the evening commute. Therefore, it should be an easier morning commute. Probably still some wet roads, though, for parts of the area, though. It's not going to be drying out completely, by no means. Very excited about Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And also, friendly reminder, not this Sunday, but next Sunday is the 8th. And why is that significant? Daylight saving time begins. Yes, it does. Clocks go ahead 1 hour, which means your sunset time will be an hour later in the day. We don't gain an hour of daylight, but we shift the daylight hours. And that means your sunset will be later in the day by about an hour. But it also means your sunrise is an hour early, too. So all you early risers in the morning, it's going to be darker longer. There's a trade-off. But it seems like most people who pay attention to daylight savings, daylight saving, not savings. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. Favor the sunsets being later than the sunrises being later. So you will get your wish soon. Yes, you will. All right, we have Tennessee Valley Living on at 11. It's a half-hour show for now. And Peyton Walker will be on, and I do a weather hit at one point during it. And then we have a half an hour before we start the new newscast with Gina Benitez. And we will have the very latest, not just on the weather updates, tracking the radar, seeing how things play out for later this evening. But she will have all your updates on the news stories from this morning that were fresh. Continue to update those throughout the newscast. And we're on for a full hour. We're back, baby, after the Olympics pushed us to streaming for 2 weeks. And now it's good to be back on air. And many of you actually reached out yesterday. I was actually pleasantly surprised how many people were very excited that the noon show was back and on air and not streaming. Made my day. It was pretty cool. So we'll be back on between 12 and 1. So for now, everybody have a great afternoon. Hopefully we can get a little sunshine, but if not, we'll do better Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And have a great day.